This brand new Devo series is called The Sweetness of God, and I was thinking about summertime and how we all like something sweet. Some people favor sweet tea, sweet watermelons, snow cones, the sweetness of ice cream and all the things, or gelato, those treats that we reserve for special times when it's hot, when we're tired or we're famished, or just from the heat of the sun. And did you know that there's lots of references in the Bible to the word sweet? So come on in to the cool retreat from this summer as we taste and see that the Lord is good, and not just good, but He's sweet. I don't really care for sweet tea, but I do love sweet watermelon, and nothing is better in the summer than a plate full of that sweet, watery goodness. My dad has always said that he has a second stomach for dessert, a place reserved for something sweet after every meal. Yet some of us shy away from anything sweet due to dietary concerns or fear of eating too many calories or all the things. But it's said that our brains are wired to enjoy things that taste good. Eating just a bite or two of something sweet after a savory meal helps us feel satisfied and happy. Sweets are mood enhancers if eaten in healthy moderation. Sweets are often more attractive when they're colorful, and people even dream about and salivate about thinking about sweets. There's a verse in Psalm 34 that says, "Taste and see the Lord is good." So maybe our start on this journey of sweetness is by looking at how we develop a taste palate for the goodness of God and how we learn to taste it. After all, taste is only experienced as we digest something after we've chewed on it a while, swallowed it, and truly tasted it. Prior to this verse of tasting and seeing that the Lord is good, we read this: "He delivered me from all of my fears. My face is never covered with shame, and I've been saved out of all of my troubles." And then comes this verse, verse 8, that says to taste and see. In other words, the sweetness and goodness of the Lord is only realized out of the fears, the shame, and the troubles of life. You might say, what? We all wish and long for a life without any of those, one with smooth sailing and no heartache, and yet in the middle of the troubles, we are invited to taste and see that He's good and sweet. And yet, when many of us taste hard times, we start questioning the sweetness of God. And after we're invited to taste and see that the Lord is good, we read this: "Those who fear Him lack nothing. Those who seek Him lack no good thing. His ears are attentive to our cares and our cries. He's close to the brokenhearted, and He saves those that are crushed in spirit." And in verse 19, we're told the righteous will have many troubles, but the Lord will deliver us out of them all, and all of our enemies will be condemned. So in the middle of this chapter, flanked before and after, are all of these things we experience from the time we take our first breath. We experience fear when disaster happens, and might even have night terrors from traumatic experiences. We cry over grief, hurt, and pain. Our hearts get broken in relationships. We even feel crushed at times and forsaken or abandoned. And maybe the worst is the shame that we carry when we have wronged another or made grave mistakes. And yet, smack in the middle of trouble, we are invited to taste and see how good God is. That reminds me of Psalm 23, where it says He prepares a table before us in the presence of our enemies. In other words, it is possible and actually probable that if we sit at His table, even in the dark of the forest, we can taste His goodness. Imagine with me the times you've attended a great feast. You've enjoyed the salad and the fruit as the first course. The meat and the potatoes and the veggies and the bread were delicious. And then you caught sight of the dessert table, piled high with colorful sweets, all available to take as much as you want. Kids want to go straight for the dessert first and leave all the savory behind. But we know that we teach them that the savory comes first and then the dessert. Could it be that tasting God's goodness and sweetness is impossible without the savory of life? Savory foods are ones that we consume to satisfy hunger, and sweets are indulgences when the savory is eaten. And according to one culinary website, sweet and savory in the mouth are like a party. It's why we like salt with sweet. Life is hard, and we're told it will be, and whether or not we're able to taste the goodness of God in the hard parts of life is how we know if we're going to grow bitter or better in our old age. And somewhere in the middle of a forest of enemies around us, those that seek to do us harm through fear, disease, and hardship, is a table set where sweetness can be found and actually seen, where the Lord is good. That verse says, "Taste and see the Lord is good." He's not just a sweet treat to the tongue, but He's sweet to behold as well, and that's where we're going this summer. Won't you come with me?